Good afternoon. I'm Jacqueline Gibson. I'm a practicing attorney in the metropolitan Atlanta area. Today we have our guest, Miss Celesta Harris,
Hi.
and she's with Simple Solution. Her company performs many services that is useful to the community, but today we're going to talk about credit repair. She will be back on later shows talking about foreclosures, student loans, and different things like that that can help the public out and function in their daily lives. Ms. Harris,
Yes.
you're with Simple Solutions, is that right?
Yes, I'm with Simple Solutions.
How long have you been with the company?
I've been with the company for 7 years, and we have been doing very well helping clients out.
Is credit repair something that we should be concerned about?
Very concerned. Today, clients over 80% has bad debt. And what we're trying to do is reach out into the neighborhoods to help people get back on track with their credit. Credit is very important in everyday life as far as your mortgage, insurance, utilities, your kids going to school. So our credit is very important to us.
And especially buying cars and stuff like that.
Buying cars.
Boats or whatever you want to purchase.
Yes, anything you like to purchase, you need good credit so you can get the best interest rates or no interest rates at all.
Oh, is that possible?
0% interest is possible for those with 750 scores and up.
Oh, great. Okay. So, since most of us, as you've stated, do not have good credit, so 20% of us have good credit. Is that right? 750 and above.
Right. 20% has good credit. 80% don't have good credit.
Okay. Since most of our credit is bad, do you have resources within your company that can assist those of us who have poor credit?
Yes.
To bring that score up?
Yes, we work with attorneys who we actually go in and will pull your credit report. After they take a good look at the credit report, they would then form letters to what's on your credit to get the negative things taken off the credit. Once it is taken off, the credit bureau will contact you. They have 30 days to verify the information that's on the credit report because we use the Fair Debt Credit Act to get it off. And once it's legally taken off, they legally can't put it back on. So that's very important.
So it's my understanding that you do work with a pool of attorneys that assist in repairing this credit.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers want to know, is it affordable? How much will it cost us to receive your services?
Okay, we have different payment plans. It's $499 to get your credit restored. The company sticks with you for a full year, and it is 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Another question, given the economy, a lot of us may not have $499 at one time.
Right.
Do you have payment plans that people can get involved with
Yes.
to reach that $499?
Yes.
$499?
Yes, we do have payment plans that's available for them. We would discuss how much of the $499 that they do have, and then we have workable plans that they can use after that if they don't have it all up front. But we also have a plan just like you would join a Sam's Club, which is $87 a month, and that $87 a month covers your credit, a credit attorney. We teach you how to use the money that you're spending monthly to get out of debt faster. We also give you a portal where you can travel cheaper, shop cheaper. We have companies, over 4,000 companies you can actually travel with, and they will pay you a percentage back for using their services. Also, we have will, trust, power of attorney. So our company, what it does is not only straighten your credit, but teach you how to be financially secure with everyday life. Everything that you need, we teach you how, and how to better spend your money.
So it really teach them financial planning and budgeting,
Right.
Things like that. So if you got poor credit now, once you restore that good credit, then you teach them how to maintain that good credit.
Right, how to use the credit and what to do and what not to do. A lot of times, I know when I first got my credit card and they gave me a limit of $300, I thought I was supposed to spend the whole $300.
But now, Miss Harris, inform our guests how these credit cards work. Let's say if I have a $5,000 limit. is it wise for me, it's Christmas time, it's the season, for me to go out and say, well, I can spend up to $5,000 and I have all of next year to pay it? How much of that $5,000 should I spend if I want to keep my credit good?
Okay, you should only spend a third of whatever your credit limit is. But I wouldn't advise you to go spend a third on Christmas either. But yes, you can only spend a third, because if you spend more than that, it makes your score go down. So what we're teaching and training is you always want to keep a high score so you can always get the best interest rates. And people say that cash is king. Cash is not king. Your credit is king right now, because if you spend all your cash, it's not working for you. We got to learn how to put our money to work to bring money back to us. Put it out, circulate, so it'll come back.
A lot of people, I'm sure they didn't know that. They might have been thinking, well, I only spent a half of my limit, so I'm good.
Right.
I got more room to shop. But that is not a good idea.
That's not a good idea. Only spend a third of whatever your limit is. That's on any card.
So with that $300 card you had, you spent the $300, right? You should have spent how much?
$100.
Only $100 out of $300.
Yes.
So the rest of it is just to maintain your credit, because maxing out ruins your credit.
Correct.
And then how about the consequences of high interest? The more money we spend on those credit cards, the company is making money on this interest that they're billing us. They may tell you the minimum payment is only $100, but you may owe $4,000 or $5,000.
So when you're paying that amount, you may be paying, like she said, just the monthly amount, but every month that interest rate goes up. So you're not really getting out of debt. You're falling further behind in the debt, even though you're paying what they ask you to pay. So if you have paying $100, I would say try to pay a little more, because you want to keep that limit down. And once you keep the limit down, your credit history, it counts as far as how much you're spending, as far as what type of cards you have, what type of credit history you have, if you have a home, if you have a car. All that is limited to making up your FICO score, which gives you your credit score.
How about those of us perhaps that don't have credit cards? Is that advantageous or not so advantageous?
I would have at least one card. You need at least one. And then if you have a mortgage payment, a car note, even if you're renting, we now can apply your rent to your credit history, just like a mortgage, and that will help your score increase too, anywhere from 50 to 118 points without going in debt. So I would have at least one credit card for emergencies and stuff like that.
So you're saying just adding your rental history to your credit history can increase your credit?
Can increase your credit
That
score.
is assuming that you had good payment on your rental, right?
Right. It must be good. Yes.
Must be good payment.
Yes.
Got to pay on time.
You have to pay on time, because they'll report if you're not paying on time too. So yes, pay on time. For those of you who are paying on time, this is a program that you can use to enhance your credit.
Great. The ones who's paying on time. I know your service, Simple Solution, does credit repair, but suppose those are ones who out here say, I'll repair my own credit. Can you repair your own credit?
You can repair your own credit if you know how to form your letters together. But what I always tell people, and this is just me, if I want something done professionally the first time, I'm going to get a professional in that line of business to do it. Yes, you can do it, because the Fair Debt Credit Act is actually what you need to use their rules and regulations to get it off of your report. But you can dispute any debt that's on your credit report.
But with your company, let's say you can repair your own credit, but the resource that your company brings along with that, you won't have access to those things, travel with certain companies,
right.
How you put it.
Right, yeah. The other things that we offer is like we teach you how to travel. A lot of times we're spending so much money, if people would think about it, all the interest that you're spending out on these credit cards because of bad debt, you could be taking your family on a nice vacation, or putting back savings, or purchasing a piece of property for later, because all these houses now are empty and available, but you need to have money to purchase them, or have good credit to go out and purchase something.
So you can't put a person in a position to buy, perhaps some of us, their first home.
Right. Your first home or new car, we work with real estate mortgage, people who can help put you into a home. If you have at least a 650 credit score, we can get you into a home. But you really want to have a 750 to an 800 credit score, so you'll have a zero down payment.
So your company has so many resources. So if someone come to you and they said, Miss Harris, I would like to buy a home, and your company will look at their credit and say this credit score would not be acceptable by most mortgage companies. So what you can do is repair that credit to bring it up to standard so they can buy their dream home.
Yes, that's correct. We'll help you, and once we get your credit score up to where it needs to be for you to purchase a home, then we'll start working with you on how to pay that home off faster using the same amount of money that you pay every month.
So your company is more like a one-stop shop when it comes to resources that the community needs concerning finance.
Right.
All the way down to student loans.
All the way
Many of
down.
us need student loans for our children.
Right, that's correct. And a lot of people have heard that bankruptcies, student loans, medical bills cannot come off your credit report. They have to sit there 7 to 10 years, especially a bankruptcy. Well, that's a myth. Anything that comes on the Fair Debt Credit Act, any bills or collections, can be taken off your credit report.
And does that include the bankruptcy itself?
The bankruptcy itself, yes, it can come
Does
off
it
your
have to
credit.
wait 7 years?
No, you do not have to wait 7 to 10 years. Everything that's on your credit report, the credit bureaus has to verify that it is 100% accurate, down to the penny. Most of the time, they don't have the paperwork to verify it. So that's why we give them 30 days to get back with you on verifying that information.
So you can clean bad credit up.
Yes, legally, to stay off.
Legally.
Legally, we legally.
Are your fees compatible with other companies that provide the same or similar services?
Our fees are much cheaper because some other companies charge at least $5,000
To do what you're doing?
to do what we're doing.
And your company, is it a 501c3?
We're a 501c3. We can do all the credit at one
And a
time.
501c3, would you explain to the audience what that is?
That's a nonprofit agency. We're nonprofit. And what we do is, since we are nonprofit, we can do all your credit at one time. If you're not nonprofit, we can only do 2 or 3 items at a time. So by us being nonprofit, we can go at it.
And the benefit of that to the public is that you can clean up their credit quicker. Is that right?
Correct. And they will see a difference within 45 days. They will start seeing things coming off the credit report.
So, for example, if I want to buy a house this spring and I have bad credit today, perhaps by April or May, you perhaps may have me clean up to buy that home, a property that I want to purchase.
Correct. Get your scores up. And that's very important. Like I always say, it's like your vital sign. If you're not watching it, somebody else is.
Oh, now, you may have already touched on this. What is good? Explain out the different types of credit. What is poor credit, good credit, and what is excellent credit?
Okay, poor credit is when you're in the 5 and 400s. That's bad, poor credit.
That's bad.
Good credit is anywhere from 680 to 720. The best excellent credit is 750 and above.
And that's only 20% of the population has that.
That's only 20%. 80% of us are in debt
That's bad.
with bad credit. And just think, at least 80% of us are in debt for $225,000 or more. But we only have maybe $500 in savings, if they do have that. It should be the other way around. We should have $500 in debt and $225,000 in savings. Think about it.
I see that.
So we're over our heads in debt. And debt is like, to me, clutter.
It's clutter.
You
But
can't.
your company can clean up this bad credit and teach you, if you're willing to learn, how to have good credit and how to get out of the bad situation that put you there.
Right. How to get out, how to use your credit once we get it straightened out. So it's the mindset. We have to think on how we think and change the way that we think and change the way that we do things with our credit.
How does some people in this bad economy, there have been many foreclosures, how can or does foreclosure affect your credit?
Yes, it does. What happens is, once they foreclose on your property, they do put it on your credit. If you do a short sale, they put it on the credit. If you do a deed in lieu of, they put it on the credit. But the deed in lieu of will keep you from purchasing a house for 3 years. So what we need to do is, if you have any of those on your credit, our attorneys work on it and get it off your credit.
As it pertains to, let's go down the steps here. You mentioned short sale. First there was bankruptcy.
Yes.
Then short sale.
Deed in lieu of.
Do a deed in lieu of.
And foreclosure.
And foreclosure, which is the worst.
Right.
You lose your property entirely. How does a short sale affect your credit?
A short sale will affect it because they sold the house for less than what you actually owe on the house. So they will attach that balance to your credit. Even though sometimes they'll work out a deal with you and say that they won't apply it to your credit bureau, sometimes it is applied to that credit bureau. So it shows as a short sale, and it shows that they sold the house for less than what you owe. Sometimes, it's according to how the short sale is set up, they can come back to you and ask for the difference. So you have to be careful with how you do a short sale.
That's very interesting. Let's say you owe a balance on the house, maybe $50,000. They said if you give us $5,000, it's paid off. Do they turn anything into IRS?
Yes, they do. A short sale, they will only sell a short sale to someone who's not in your family and not you. It has to be an outside party. So you yourself couldn't do the house as a short sale. So whenever you do a short sale, they do send you a form for taxes, and that has to be filed. Or if you do cash for keys, they will send you tax forms, and it has to be filed.
Explain cash for keys for us.
Cash for keys is where you may be in a home and you decide that you can no longer afford it, so you will get with the bank and just tell them that you're going to return the house to them. Or they foreclose on the house. When they foreclose on the house, they will come and offer you so much money to move out of the house. That's called cash for keys. They may say, okay, we'll give you $3,500 to go ahead and move, and you clean the house, have it spotless, and we'll take the keys.
So that's cash for keys.
That's cash for keys.
That's better than a foreclosure, is it not?
Well,
you voluntarily give it up.
No, that's after the foreclosure.
It's after the foreclosure.
That's after the foreclosure, where they will offer cash for keys.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that. If you ask them for cash for keys to give you assistance in moving, they will offer you cash for keys, and it's according to what the neighborhood that you're in. They'll give anywhere from 25 to 10 to 15,000.
Let's repeat that again for those of us who don't know that. After the foreclosure, you can ask the bank for money to move.
To help you relocate.
To help you move and relocate. Because moving can be expensive.
Very.
Getting the truck, packing up everything, getting the movers, that could be very expensive. So if you're struggling already with a house note, so you're more than likely you don't have enough money to move from that property.
Correct.
So after the foreclosure, cash for keys will let the bank help you move. And this is a great benefit for a lot of people in the community who have caught in this situation.
And see, what a lot of times they be so upset that they've lost their home, and they really don't have the correct information to know to ask for cash for keys. But, you know, if they talk to the realtor once it's sold, she can set up for you to get cash for keys. And that means you have to clean the house up. Everything has to be out within the 30 days that they give you. And they will take the keys and give you the money. They'll have to check that day.
I'm sure you've heard of circumstances. People out of anger, once they have lost a house and it has been foreclosed, what do they do to the property? Trash it.
Yes.
So there's another option, and a better option is to ask for cash for keys, clean up the house, get some money to move, and get a fresh start. Instead of a lot of people who lose their homes. There's one in my neighborhood, nice neighborhood. They lost the house, and they just trashed, just tore it up, knocked holes in the walls, lighting fixtures, carpet, just messed it up. A lot of, you've heard a situation like that. And what instead, they could have asked cash for keys, cleaned the house up, and got some money to move on to get a fresh start.
To a fresh start. And always remember that it's not the end of the world. That's what I tell people. When you're in foreclosure, even though you couldn't afford it at that time, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes God just say move. Right. So just move and start all over. Sometimes you need a new start. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sometimes don't take it so personal.
Things do happen to us.
Things happen.
Whether you lost your job, maybe no fault of your own, illness or sickness or whatever in the family, and just different tragedies may happen to you that throw you off course. And then when you have a minimal amount of savings, such as $500, you're not able to catch an emergency that you may, financial emergency that you may have.
Correct. And sometimes we say if a person would have had an extra $500, they wouldn't have lost their home.
But let's go back a bit further. A lot of times when these people are financed for homes, they buy too much house from the start.
Correct.
And therefore, the bankers should take some responsibility for this as well. To get someone into a home, knowing that your credit not strong enough, knowing that your finances are not quite where they should to be, they make a sale. When a sale is made, the seller wants to sell that house as much as you want to move in it, whether you realize it or not. Is that right,
That's
Ms.
correct.
Harris?
That's correct.
So it goes both ways. So they're going to do everything possible to put you in this house. You're going to struggle with it, barely able to pay for the house. And then the least little sneeze, a ripple come by, you lose your footing and you lose your home because you were not adequately financed to take on that type of responsibility.
That's correct. That's correct.
Is that right, Ms. Harris?
Yes. What happened is when the industry was booming, people was put into houses they couldn't afford in the beginning. So now when it comes time to modify the house with the 31 and 38% income to debt ratio, they don't fall in that guideline because they wasn't in the guideline when they got the house. And like you said, the houses was purchased, realtors, people who appraised the house, everybody overmarked the house. So now the house is underwater. Where if you try to sell the house, you're not going to make any money because you can't sell it because it's not worth anything, but you owe more than what it's worth. So a lot of times I would just say, if you can't afford the house and you lost your home, just let it go. You know, just it's gone. Just let it go and start all over.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the
But
world.
some people don't know how to take negative things in their life, don't know how to adjust and still float. Like it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the
You
world.
got your life,
Right.
you got your family, you got your children. Houses coming down with dozens. You can get another house someplace and enjoy it just as much. Maybe God has something better for you.
Right. And what they're doing now is a lot of the lease purchase homes, brand new homes. You know, so maybe it was time for you to move from that area to a new area. You know, you get a fresh start. So look at it as I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to get my credit together. And just I'm going to get a fresh start and I'm going to move on.
So, Ms. Harris, it looks like to me when these unfortunate events falls upon one, it would be a great idea for you to get Simple Solutions number. Call Ms. Harris so she can help you get that fresh start. It appears to me that her company has everything you would need to clean up your finances, buy that next home, even help your children get scholarships in college, and other services they say they have as well. Even home modifications. Ms. Harris is the lady when it comes to your household finances.
That's correct.
Is that right, Ms. Harris?
That's correct. And I enjoy what I do, and I give you the correct information. I won't mislead you. I want you to have the correct information. You can go look it up for yourself and then get back to me.
And you work with a team of lawyers.
Yeah.
And furthermore, as you get yourself financially, once you get yourself financially adjusted for a better life, Ms. Harris Company can also, we will talk about it another time, do wills and trusts for your family and children and loved ones. This will cut down a lot of disturbance once one of your loved ones has passed or moved on. So today we're just dealing with more or less credit repair, but any other services that you need concerning finances, she works with a team of experts and professionals who can perform the type of service that you need and that you desire. She has a credible company, and do not forget to take the number down when we go on break. And that's Celeste Harris with Simple Solutions. I think now's a good time for a break. We'll be right back. What do you think?
Outstanding. This is better than last.
I looked at the camera, didn't I?
You all are really, I mean, it's flawless. Just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, true.
We met, we just hit it off, we have a report.
You got the,
I'm going to be one of your first clients. The service and company I'm thinking about going with, they don't have what you have. You know what I'm saying? I want you to get over that. I'm being honest with you. Clean up my act. I had a lot of different things, take care of my mother and her life.
Something that we can baby, just me and you. Got to be where you are. No matter how far.
Okay, Ms. Harris, we're back from our break. You have given us a lot of information, a wealth of information that has been free to the community and that will be a great help to many of us. As I had mentioned briefly before, a lot of us have children, and we do need money to help put these children in college and get them educated. And I understand that your company has resources that can get these children scholarships. Will you tell us something about how the process goes as far as getting scholarship for our children?
Okay. What we have is another branch. Since we're a nonprofit organization, we do use money from when we restore the credit, where you take money from that organization and put it into YFL, which is Youth Financial Literacy. So we'll go out into the neighborhoods and teach kids youth financial literacy from 8 to 18. And when we teach them about savings, banking, credit cards, how to be entrepreneurs. So we teach them all of that. So our program also has scholarships.
Before you go any further, Ms. Harris, let's give the audience some steps as to how, if any, the schools can play a role and how we can get this set up in many of our schools. A lot of our children and a lot of people don't know about finances and planning. So step by step, for example, how can we get this into high schools or elementary, middle schools or whatever to now teach children about finances?
Okay. What we do, we usually go out and talk to the principal or the counselors.
Of the school.
Of the school.
Do you do just high schools or middle schools? What level?
Any age from 8 to 18, and we also do recreations, any community committees where they have kids involved, like basketball, football, as long as it's 35 students. We have to have at least 35 students to be in the program. The program is for 2 months. They take it for 1 hour a week. They can do 30 minutes on Monday, 30 minutes Wednesday, but it has to be for 1 hour for 2 months.
So you telling me, for example, if I had high school X or middle school X or whatever, we can get with the principal and find out whether they'd be interested in this program for those children.
Correct. And then I also can be after school. If
It
they
can
want
be
to do it
after school.
during school or after school.
That had to be set up with the counselors and the principals, is that right?
Correct, correct.
And
And
it goes for how many, 2 months?
2 months, 1 hour a week.
1 hour a week. And what will you exactly teach the children? Give us a brief overview as to what were some of the classes that would be taught to the children about finances.
Okay, we'll supply them with a money management book. And in that book, it teaches them how to figure out money as far as wages, banking, how to balance a checkbook, how to use your credit card properly. We also teach them credit unions versus banks. So we go back to the basic to teach them everything that they need to know to be successful with using credit cards, banking accounts, and all of that type of stuff. But we do supply the books for that too. So once they get their books and stuff, the teacher, we also teach them how to make it fun for them by doing little coins like 50 cents, quarter pieces, dollars, and stuff like that. We also teach them how to be entrepreneurs, to open up their own little lemonade stand or snow cone machine, and how to buy and purchase what they need to run their business.
That's an exciting program.
Mhm.
I just wish that when I was a child, they had something like this. The only thing that helped me in my life, I was blessed to be at a high school where they taught bookkeeping and tax.
Okay.
And I started doing that in high school.
Mhm.
That helped me a lot in budgeting and getting through 3 college degrees.
Okay.
Just knowing that much. But if I had what you all have now,
Mhm.
I mean, I could be up to the moon by now.
Correct.
And I'm sure you teach the children about investing money, how you can invest $100 a day, 5 or 10 years, and maybe 5,000.
Correct.
So this is some of the things that you teach in your program.
Yeah, these are the things that
To
we
show
teach.
them how to make baby steps
Mhm.
so they can get leaps in their lives.
Right. So when they go off to college, they won't just get that. You know, when you get the credit card, they think it's just money rain out the sky. And then they realize later on they have to pay that bill, and it's on their credit. Not only the student loans now are on their credit, but the credit cards are there too. So they're in debt at a young age. So what we're teaching them is not to go that route.
Do you also teach in that course? I know now it's a new era, and I have a young child.
Mm-hmm.
And at her age now, which I didn't have the advantage of doing, to now set up her retirement at her age now. So perhaps if anything should ever happen to me and she never touches this money, when she gets to be a senior citizen, she'll be well off and not have to worry about how to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Do your program include anything like that?
Yes, we teach them how to save, and we do little games with them, showing them how to, if you, spend this amount, how to save this amount. Because see, we was never taught how to pay yourself first, and we teach them how to pay yourself first and then use and not overspend. So it's set up for a complete financial education, teaching them what to do and what not to do with their finances.
People don't realize how important savings, how important they are. My mother, who was not a college educated woman, as a child, she would always say, save some of your money.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that in my ears all the time.
My mom did too.
Even after being a lawyer and going through having 3 college degrees, my mother still, within a short period of her death, continued to say, Jackie, save some of your money. So I listened to her more and more, and I saved some of my money, and I have fallen on hard times. But for me having that money, I didn't lose all that I had.
Correct.
It really helped me. That was a financial cushion that really propelled me back to where I need to be.
Correct.
So just saving. You may give a child $10. Tell the child may perhaps save $1 or $2, put it away. And at the end of the year, you can see how much your money have grown.
Correct.
So y'all teach things like this to the children
Yeah, we teach
at
this
an early age.
at an early age. We start at start at 8 years old and go to 18 years old. Because that's the very important age. At 8 is when they really grasp what you're saying. And a lot of times I know we as parents try to hide things from the kids, but they know. They know anyway. You know, if you don't have enough money to do things for them and you keep telling them little fibs and wait and hold on, well, the kids know what's going on. They're in the household with you. So what we need to do is start being honest with them, and we have a program set up in the system where the parent and the child can go online and work together through the money
And let's
management.
give it to the young children. This day and time, it appears to me they are smarter and smarter every generation.
Yes.
You can give a baby in a diaper a technical instrument. They
Correct.
can't write, they can't read, but you give them a technical instrument, they are in a diaper. They work at that technical instrument
Sure
like an
is.
expert. Is that
Yeah,
right or
that's
wrong?
correct. I have a little
So
granddaughter.
they are very bright.
Yeah, very bright. I have a little granddaughter who told me the other day that she has a budget for Christmas,
Oh.
and she have 4 items on her list, but she could make room for mine.
Aren't you so blessed?
Right. But so she knows, and I've been watching her use the computer ever since she was about 2 years old.
How old is she now?
8.
She's like a little lady, right?
She's like a little lady. Mm-hmm.
So they are capable of grasping this financial information that you're that's made available to them.
Yes, they are. They are, and they enjoy it because see, when you make it fun, and you show them different things, they grasp it and they like doing it, and they'll remember that. So that's why we're getting them at a young age.
This is the quietly kept secret about children learning finance in the program that you have, and the community need to know about this now. In the future, perhaps when these children get to be adults, they may be able to avoid the pitfalls that some of us may have fallen into, as far as having bad credit, extending our finances beyond our financial means to take care of our financial responsibilities. So this program is a very, very good program. I'm sure you teach it to your granddaughter.
Sure is. And another thing I want to mention too, when the schools or the different organizations take on the program for the financial literacy, when the program is completed, we give you a check for $500, and we supply everything.
You give the
that you
child a check, or
No,
the school?
The school.
You
A
get
check.
the school a check for $500.
For every 35 students that we teach for money management, we'll give the school a check for $500, or the organization.
So let's see if the school had 70 children. Would it be $1,000?
If they have 70,
70.
yes.
You said every 35 students.
Every 35 students, we'll give you $500. And we also supply the books for the class. And after the class is finished, we will give the kids a certificate of completion and a graduation party.
And a graduation party? Is that graduation from the class, or 2 months of class, or what?
Yes, from 2 months of class. Once they're completed, we'll come out and present you with a check for $500.
What type of thing would you have at that party, Miss Harris?
The pizza.
Oh, the
pie.
stuff that kids
Yeah,
like?
kids like. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's a reward for giving them, for hard working to earn that class.
Yes. And they enjoy it. And like I say, they can also, when their parents get their credit done, they can go online and also still keep applying it and teach their parents some things.
We have to start somewhere.
And I'm sure when they get the information, they share it with their parents. Hey, Mom, I learned this. Or Mom, do this. You know what I'm saying? Because they see what we're doing. So when they see what we're doing, and they have things that they can tell us to better ourselves, we need to accept it.
I think we should. You know what? Children, if you let them talk, they can teach you something. I've had my daughter oftentimes, hey, Mama, how about this and that? I'm saying to myself, you just been in the world for a few years. How do you know all this? I'm constantly asking her these things. Of course, a lot of times, too, these children, they Google, go on the internet, and they just seem to be a brighter generation.
Very.
And they're capable of learning really quicker than you and I.
Sure. And they retain it.
And retain it. Okay, we may get old and foggy, right? Get Alzheimer's or something, and they retain it as well.
Right.
So that's a good program. What's the name of your program again?
Our company is Simple Solutions.
I know your company is Simple Solutions, but the program for the children.
kid is Youth Financial Literacy.
Youth financial literacy.
And if you have a senior that's getting ready to graduate this year, I would like for you all to go to yflfoundation.org. We have scholarships where someone can win first place $15,000, second place $10,000, third place $5,000, and we're also giving out 35 scholarships at $2,000 each. They do have to do an essay on financial literacy, 500 words.
Just hold up a minute, Ms. Harris. Let's make sure the audience get this information. So this at
Foundation.
YFULfoundation.org. Now this writing contest they can enter. What's the deadline for that writing
The
contest?
deadline for it is December the 15th.
How many pages of words does it have to be?
500 words.
500 words. What are the subjects they can write about?
It's going to be on finance.
The paper had to be on finance.
When they go to the website and put in their information, they'll give them the PDF at that time showing them what they need to do for the essay.
Okay, let's do it again, Ms. Harris. Make sure the audience got this.
Okay.
The website they need to go to if they want to write this essay and get $500 is, tell them again, Ms. Harris.
Okay. The program is YFLfoundation.org. So it's www.yflfoundation.org. And that's for your child who is a senior this year or a first year freshman to apply for a scholarship. The first place scholarship is $15,000, second place is $10,000, Third place is $5,000, but we're also giving out 35 scholarships at $2,000 each. Every year we will be doing this.
One time, Ms. Harris. Now, a freshman, that means a college freshman.
College freshman,
So you had to be a high school student,
12th grade.
12th grade, or a college freshman.
Freshman.
I want to clear that up.
Correct.
Not high school freshman, but a
College
freshman.
freshman.
And so they need to go to the site,
Yeah.
yflfoundation.org. Look at this information. The scholarships and the dollar amount will be listed under that section.
Yes, everything that you need
Students,
to do.
if you're looking for money, please go to yflfoundation.org. Read it carefully and thoroughly and see how much money is waiting for you if you only want to reach out and get it. All right? Don't forget, yflfoundation.org. There is scholarship money for you. And there's 500 words for this essay, which is due December the 15th. You got almost 2 weeks still to write this 500-word essay, and I know you can do it.
That's correct.
That's great, Ms. Harris. There's some money waiting for the children. So far we've dealt with straightening out the parents' bad credit. You're going to teach the children how to have good credit and good finances, and on top of that, you have scholarship money for them. Your company, Simple Solutions, have great resources that this community can certainly use. Ms. Harris, how many years has this program been established?
11 years
11 years for the Youth
for the credit,
Youth Foundation,
for the credit and the youth financial.
Credit and Youth Financial. So Youth Financial Literacy is the program that you can put in any school, 8 years old to 12th grade.
Any school.
Any school. So if there are any schools listening to this broadcast today, go to this Youth Financial Literacy and contact Simple Solution. Have Ms. Harris to come to your school to put this program in for your students. Not only is it good for your students, if some of the teachers can listen and participate, I am certainly that they can benefit as well. Because you can never get too much financial information. Having the right finances and having your life working like you're supposed to, you can really erase a lot of unnecessary stress in your life. For many of us, finances, it is a stress on your life. So having good finances and keeping good finances can certainly, I think, help you to live longer and more and less stress-free. Ms. Harris, Simple Solutions is the solution that you need to help with your financial situations. So Ms. Harris, Youth Financial Literacy, and you've been involved with that for 11 years.
For 11 years.
Have your company given out scholarships during this time?
Yes.
Now, the things you have listed on the web, yflfoundation.org, those scholarships, have y'all lived up to the mark as far as providing the scholarship that you say that you will provide?
Oh, yes. Last year we gave out $50,000, and I think 4 kids here in Georgia received them. So we have a list of everybody that we give a scholarship to, like whoever wins for 2016. We'll have a list of those students.
Who is the check written to, the student or the school they're attending?
For the scholarship will be to the school and the student together, because the school that they're going to,
And
and
the child's name would be on that
Yes,
check.
yes.
So this child can't take this scholarship money and go on
No.
a worldwide travel,
No.
spending spree, good time out on the town.
no, because the application is going to ask you what school that you plan on attending.
But if they change the school before they go to school, they can inform you all of that, and you all can adjust that check to send the check to the school, appropriate school.
Correct. Correct.
And extra money always come in handy. Even if the child has some money, they might have to catch some books. Then too, some schools are so far away the child has to travel. So this money can help the child to receive the education they so desire.
And also, I would like to say this, parents, please have your credit in order when your child go off to school, because you're going to need it.
You hear this, parents? Your credit need to be in shape. before your child go off to school, because Miss Harris said you're going to need it. So before, I know we all have children in school, a lot of us, so you know your children are going to school. See Simple Solution, Miss Celesta Harris, to get your credit in shape before your child go off to school. And I advise you to do this today, not tomorrow. And when we get ready to leave, Simple Solution telephone number will be on the screen. Call Miss Celesta Harris to get your finances in shape so you can will be able to send your child to school.
And I would like to add one more thing, and I want to reach out to the communities. I know a lot of times when we talk about credit and things, we'll get scared, don't know what to do, who to trust, who to turn to. Or we'll say, well, I'm good, my credit is good. Pass the information on to someone else. This is about sharing. Let us share with other people. You know, your credit may be good, but your sister or a cousin or even a neighbor or friend may not have good credit and don't know who to go to, who
Right.
they can trust. So let's just start sharing information so people will be up on things and know what they need to do, you know, and let's be honest with people and just start sharing.
Will you verbally tell them what your number is again, Miss Harris?
Yes, my number is 805-751-8005.
Repeat that again.
Yes, it's 805-751-8005. And I look forward to hearing from you all.
And that is Simple Solution, Miss Celesta Harris. Miss Harris, I enjoyed having you on the show today as the guest, and the information that you have shared with me is very resourceful, and I will certainly share it with my friends, loved ones, and anyone that I think that needs it. Some of us, sometimes we are too shy to let people know what situation that we are in and don't want to share. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a helping hand, such as Simple Solution. You know, people don't want people to know their business, but take the information anyway. If it's out there, take it and use it, or give it to somebody who can use it. So I thank you for being here with us today, and Ms. Harris, thank you for all the information that you have provided us.
Thank you.
And Simple Solution, I think, is the right solution for you to have in your life. We thank you.
Thank you.
It's been nice.
Yes.